cue ball there. Well, it's not that easy to find full cover on the red that's close to the left middle. Somewhere down in behind the yellow, that kind of area, I don't think the red is cuttable. He's not trying that, he's trying to get back to where the black is now instead with that cue ball. Clever and completely as played. He didn't play the pot directly. Just brought about a chance and not very much.
Mark Allen became only the 10th player in the game's history to make in excess of 600 century breaks this season. He's made 36 in all this campaign.
Seven. Eight.
Well, he looked like he was going to win frame one. He couldn't quite convert the couple of chances that he had earlier in the frame. So he's going to have to ensure that this time he does, having got him with a good red, make it into a pretty telling break.
$30. 40.
Quite a poor shot, but he still could recover things because of where the blue is. He can pop the red into the bottom left pocket. And hold for the blue, so he's got nothing to do positionally with this shot. Shot, it's nicely played. So it wasn't a good position attempt, the previous one, but It's just a question of how many he can make.
Twenty-three. 24. $31.
That'll annoy him. Very good shot to get onto the black. Now this red to middle. This is very missable. You can see it's not the nicest angle. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it.
31.
So another chance,
Can we make
somewhat
sure
squandered
the
there.
phones are on silent, please? Thank you.
The first frame would certainly have irritated Alan to lose it from a position of strength. This would be even more frustrating for him were Mark Selby to turn this one around. He looked to have done the hard work in regaining position, only to then lose it again.
1.
Yeah, I mean, this could take a similar pattern to the previous frame. Looks like, I don't know if the black goes through that gap. It may well do, but you can see that it will go. Blue's a bit straight to get onto a red from.
Right as he was on the backswing there.
I think there is a point on the backswing where you really would be put off by something. And that was that point, but thankfully, when he got down again, he didn't miss it.
8. 9. 13.
Quite a big margin for error there. Anywhere behind the black gave him the shot at the red.
40.
So into the 4 reds here. This is a very important shot in the context of this frame. If you can get these reds in play. Cue ball's the problem. The reds have opened up. From there, the next shot
21.
is not easy. Very nice cueing, that one.
$27. 28.
Selby still behind, but not for long it would seem. Two reds are absolutely stuck together in the middle of the table, so it might be available to perhaps one of the bulk pockets, not much else.
$35.
Scores level, 51 remaining. Very nice, very clean pot from Selby. In his bid for a second consecutive steal.
Yeah, and it'll be back on that left-hand red where
43.
the frame will hinge, getting onto it. Possibilities
44.
here. Not quite got the angle on the pink to screw him behind the red, but I'm sure he's playing the cannon here. Probably off two cushions rather than the one, I think. Yeah, that's what he's tried. Beautiful shot. Absolutely top class.
And things looking a little grim for Mark Allen again. Seemingly in control of the frame and then lost prime position. Missed the awkward red to the left centre.
52.
And it looks like costing him. 17 the lead, so just this blue, the yellow and the green for 2-0. This has been very
57.
nicely done, though, from Selby. Excellent red to the green pocket from distance. That very well played
59.
positional shot on the final red.
Yep, and there's a habit in this game of you lose a frame in a certain way early in a match and you can lose more frames in a similar vein, and this really was another one that got away from Mark Allen. Arguably should be 2-0 up, but he isn't.
$71.
Allen was 4-1 down to Selby at the Masters this season and turned it around in a decider. So there's still time for him, clearly, but it's the manner in which he's lost these frames that will hurt, because, as Neil says, he could certainly have won them both, but Mark Selby has been clinical when it's mattered at the end of the frames, and that was a superb break. It really was top class from the 4 times world champion Mark Selby, looking to avenge that Masters loss earlier this season and going very nicely about it right now. He's halfway to a place in the semi-finals and leads Mark Allen here at the Riyadh Season World Masters of Snooker by 2-0. He's lost 2 frames to Mark Selby that he might have won, but Selby has played extremely well at the back end of both of them to take a 2-0 lead.
Mark Allen.
4, of course, is the target for a place in the semi-finals, which take place tomorrow. They're also over the best of 7 frames. The final tomorrow evening over the best of 9 to collect that bumper first prize of £250,000, and that's without mentioning the 167, which can bank you 395,000 if you can make a maximum and then pot the golden ball worth 20. John Higgins had a very good stab at it yesterday. Lost position on the final yellow, actually overcut the yellow, which seemed almost impossible from where he landed on it. But plenty more opportunities for it to happen.
Yeah, it was a pity, wasn't it, looking back at that he didn't get on the yellow. Now, I'm not saying he would have made one because the pink was awkward. Of course, the golden ball is where it is now. But nice to think he could have got down to the last couple of shots anyway. That would be very exciting. But of course, there's still plenty of time for that to happen. Sullivan has claimed that he'll be going for it in his matches. If there is to be more than one match, of course. Got a tough game against John Higgins later too. Certainly a match to savour.
Yes, Sullivan v Higgins is some way to complete the menu for today, isn't it? Before that, it'll be Judd Trump against Sean Murphy. Of course, we're talking about the cream of the crop in this event. The top 10 players, plus the 2 wildcards who were in action yesterday. Mark Allen currently the world number 3. Mark Selby the world number 5.
I think Mark Allen must be a little bit worried about the way this match is going, because he's kind of trying to outfox sort of most tactically astute player we've got, probably. And he's kind of doing it, but still losing the frames, because he's not scoring quite enough when he's in to make it happen.
That golden ball's pretty obstinate, isn't it? It's threatened to be moved a couple of times.
It's going to be moved in a minute, that's for sure. It's going to be moved back off the table because there's no way you can pot a black from here. But I know what you're saying. I think the problem is it's actually put very tight on the cushion, so even if a ball does hit it, it's almost going to double kiss. And it's not going far unless there's an unusual early few shots in a frame. Now, just to make the point, he couldn't just play it now. You can't actually play it as a colour.
Mark Allen 1.
Which, of course, he would have done, I think, if that was in the rules, because he would have left the cue ball there.
That's not a ball on.
I think Mark Selby is actually just clarifying the rule that Neil has mentioned there, that the only time that the golden ball is an object ball is when a maximum has been made. Up until then, you can't play it without conceding a foul.
Yeah, it's not a ball on, I think, was the answer, and that is one of the sort of rules of snooker, the ball on being, once the red is potted, one of 6 colours, not 7. There will be a time, I'm sure, when it comes into play at the start of a frame in a different way, because clearly, if it was moved from there and all the reds remain, you could probably get a snooker behind it. I'm not sure exactly under what circumstance that would happen, but because all the reds would have to be on the table, it would have to have already been nudged. But I'm sure something will happen this week like that. Maybe it will be the ball on after 147 points in a break have been made.
Well, there's further clarification of the rules applicable to the brand new golden ball, worth 20.
Yeah, I mean, it can be a hindrance if your cue ball lands on top of it at the start of a frame, I suppose, and you've got to play out of a difficult bridging. So we just get that cue ball to limp up the table. He didn't get the correct contact on the thin red he was trying to hit.
rare safety error from Selby and a chance for Allen, and it's very important now, this visit for Mark Allen. He's seen 2 frames come and go that he might have won. Selby playing very well at the end of each of them to deny him. What can he make of this opportunity? One thing that Mark Allen has shown during this period of sustained success, 5 titles in the last season and a half or so, is patience when things have not gone to plan. He's hung on in there. And more often than not, he's been rewarded. We think back to the UK final last season when he was 6-1 down to Ding Junhui, turned it around, only lost 1 more frame in that match. He's come from behind a number of times during his winning run. So you certainly wouldn't bet against him doing it again, but it's not quite happening for him so far today. There's still time.
4.
No, because he's winning much of the safety exchanges early in a frame. Anyways, this red will go. But he isn't quite punishing.
5.
That last exchange, Selby only had to miss 1 ball on that right side on the way back up, and that was a green, which he hit quite a lot of. From his point of view, I think he could do with a sizable break here to really
12.
avoid any reoccurrence of losing the first 2 frames by being outplayed in the second half of both of them.
13. 20. 21. 28. 29.
A question of whether it goes on there. If not,
Goes off.
yeah, he's saying it does go, Jan Verhaas, so it doesn't go up on the brown, which would have been the highest available had it not spotted.
Okay.
Black goes, as you can see, after this, so
36.
really there'll be no excuse for Mark Allen not to get this frame one here. It's a golden chance.
$43. 44.
Little shake of the head there before that last shot. Seems okay though where he is.
$51.
Little shot to run round off 2 cushions for the black.
52.
Nicely done. It's neatly done. Still 75 on, so red black or red lower value colour red from here. Now that black has been potted anyway.
59. $60.
Just a bit of positional work to do off this blue then, with one more red required to make the frame safe.
Yeah, I think initially he wanted to play on the black from that last red, but he didn't have the angle. Has he finished in the one place where nothing goes, or does the red he's closest to,
65.
does he nip through the gap?
Shake of the head from Alan would suggest the former. Is that end a break? Tantalisingly close to winning his first frame.
Yeah, and Selby will not have given up this frame, even though it's unlikely.
Just needs one red.
Playing the plant by the looks of this. Well, Ian, that's a terrific shot. It's a very clever shot because the cue ball was running away from all the reds and all the action. It's almost like a billiards in off, red onto something on the black spot. Beautiful shot that, very clever. Frame winner.
Black to make sure. Selby, of course, will play on if this doesn't go in, but this has been a really good response from Mark Allen. And that superbly
73.
manufactured plant has got him on the scoreboard rather later than he would have liked, but he's now in the match.
Yeah, 73.
And Mark Selby concedes with only 59 left on the table, so Mark Allen with his first substantial break of the afternoon, back in the hunt here, reducing Mark Selby's lead to 2 frames to 1. Still all to play for at the Riyadh Season World Masters of Snooker in quarter-final 1. Snooker to determine the last 4 players standing ahead of the semi-finals and indeed the title match, all to be played tomorrow. Mark Selby still in front, but only by 1. An excellent break and a vital intervention from Mark Allen, who could have won the first 2 frames. Mark Selby finishing them strongly from behind. But Allen coming to the party in frame 3. Break of 74 to halve the deficit.
Rather an odd break that, wasn't it? Because we saw the red go up the table, as we sometimes see, but then double kissing with the cue ball. That's not a break you see very often. It's not necessarily been that costly, but just an unusual start to a frame, seeing a shot like that.
I tried, said Alan, talking about moving the golden ball, which, apart from when it's been removed by the referee, has stubbornly refused to budge so far in the matches we've seen.
great little nudge on the brown balls. Good pot to start with, but often this cue ball will just drift into the bulk area without an easy pot available. But that half ball kiss on the brown has allowed him a chance to make a break. He'd love to get on the red just by the black, just above it. Don't think he had the shot to do it there. But the red above the black, playing behind that, freeing the black to both pockets, would see him off again.
5. Six.
That's a better shot than it looked to finish top side of the blue. Just landing right behind the blue. Very nicely done. Now trying to play on that red I mentioned, just on line with the black there, and that's looking good. So all of a sudden Mark Allen is looking slightly more dangerous in amongst them in the last frame in a bit.
12. Nineteen. 20. 27. 28.
Just trying to find an area here where he can get onto one of those two reds below and to the left of the black spot, so that he brings the other one into play. Yeah, that's okay. Just a very slight angle. The red next to the cue ball then
35.
is almost a target ball to pot soon.
$36.
So he could go into the bunch of reds here if he really wanted to. That's a lovely shot. Screwed out to the left. He knew reds would be available
43.
that were already in open play. Very neatly played that shot.
One of our features on Discovery Plus during the commercial breaks, talking about Mark Allen and his temperament. Rachel Casey asking the questions, and he said much improved from what it used to be. Talked about how sometimes his fiery character could get the better of him, but I think this match is an example of how things have changed in that regard. Those first two frames could really have hurt, because he'll feel he should have won both of them, but he's not allowed it to phase him. He backs himself
49.
to turn things around when he gets the chance, and this match suddenly has a different complexion about it. Excellent 73 break in the previous frame, and looking good to level things pretty quickly here in the fourth.
50.
And he did something similar, of course, to Selby this season at the Masters, 4-1
55.
behind, being outplayed. The maximum break was obviously a fantastic contribution, but more importantly for Allen, he turned the match around and won it 6-5. There's a similar scenario beginning to unfold
56.
here.
Yeah, I know. It kind of does feel like that, doesn't it? It's a similar sort of pattern I mean, Selby's 4-1 lead was not entirely convincing that evening, and certainly the comeback from Allen was a little bit more positive, and you saw it coming actually when they got level. Although he's not going to get the frame one there. Goodness, that was a mile out.
56.
56, decent break, but this was a serious miscalculation.
Does the red pass the black? That's the question.
Well, I don't think it'll be in a full pocket, but if it does go and Selby plays it and gets it, then he's right back into the frame. We might get a chance to see it. No, we're not. It's not going anyway.
And that's a bit of a lucky break for Allen, because having missed the black, he might have begun to imagine a similar scenario to the first couple of frames, which Selby won from behind. It is just the safety from Selby, but he'll be happy to still be in the frame. It was looking likely that Allen was going to level at that visit before he missed the black.
The only good thing for Selby is he has moved the only safe red into open play, so he'll still fancy there's a way back into the frame. Beautiful safety shot this time from Allen to cement his position in the frame even more.
Thank you, Mark.
Again, another nice pot. But there's still 67 left on the table. Five reds, five blacks, all the colours. So we'll need another red to secure the frame. Again, what is it that goes past that black is the question. I reckon that will go, but even then, over the top of a red with queuing, is it a risk that Mark Allen is prepared to take?
Mark Allen, 6.
Mark Allen acutely aware that there's still jeopardy in this frame. Clearly very much the favourite at the moment, but that can change pretty quickly.
Change here, actually. I think he played this. I mean, he was very thin, shot to nothing if he did play it. But the cue balls came out of bulk, so you just got to keep an eye on the point situation here, taking the Brown, he's looking at the scoreboard. He can't really take yellow. Brown is, I think, the minimum. Don't think the black from there cuts him very easily. Not with a view to holding for the next red. Maybe he feels that it will pot. Well, he's got to make sure the cue ball doesn't travel up the table here. A little kiss on the red next to it would be handy. He had a look at the brown. He mustn't have thought it was a good angle to come down for a red.
80.
Because he could afford to take the brown points-wise as long as he took high-value colours with everything else. Here's a big shot. Well now, what a turnaround in the offing here.
Just when it looked as though Allen was about to restore parity, and having lost the first 2 frames, having been in front, this would be an even more crushing blow. Would also put Selby 2 up with 3 to play if he could clear up here. Big, big moment in the match.
Well, put it this way, I think he would be very
16.
disappointed not to clear up from here, because there isn't anything difficult other than the fact that it's a valuable event and it's a chance to make it through to the semi-finals. The pressure of that is the only issue. And he'd like to take as high a value a colour as he could with the other red down the table, so that he can afford to take something lower value on the red up by the yellow. So 39 the difference. If he takes red-black here, he can afford
23.
Take a blue with the other red.
24.
Also a brown. So it's making a huge difference. If he can play on the brown, that would help him a lot. It means he's staying at the other end. Seems to have happened very quickly, doesn't it? This frame was all Mark Allen. All of a sudden, Selby's
31.
got this chance to win it.
Allen missed the black to the left corner when he was
32.
closing in on 2 each. He was beginning to cue really well, having made 73 in the previous frame. The match had a different complexion, but things have turned again now. Mark Selby threatening his 3rd smash and grab of the afternoon.
Well, Mark Allen had 2 chances to win the
36.
frame. One when he made that half-century break, and then another chance came his way, but he was left queuing awkwardly, possibly
38.
to play a red into maybe half a pocket, and he didn't fancy any of that. The opening red that Selby took was terrific, and here we are.
41.
The last 3 colours required for another damaging steal from Mark Allen's point of view.
50.
So the one way that shot can go wrong is if you don't quite get the angle, but it's a little bit further away from this pink than he would want. It's dead straight, so he's got to sort of run it in. Should get it, but it's the last possible thing that could go wrong. Choosing to play the stun run through
56.
instead, he was more comfortable with that. So what a steal this is going to be.
It was looking highly likely to be 2 each. Mark Allen was going nicely, queuing well. Mr. Black missed a further opportunity, and Mark Selby has punished him again. For the 3rd time this afternoon, he comes from behind, and that one is the most significant of the lot because it puts him on the cusp of a semi-final place here at the Riyadh Season World Masters of Snooker. He needs just one more frame to knock out Mark Allen and move through to the last 4. And a meeting with either Luca Brissell or Ali Carter.
Thank you, frame 5. Mark Allen to win.
Mark Allen at the point of no return. Mark Selby with another punishing steal, his third of the afternoon, when Allen was looking good for 2 each. Now he's got to win the remaining 3. Selby just needing the 1 to go through to the semi-finals, and a meeting with either Luca Brissell or Ali Carter. And the shake of the head from Mark Allen will tell you he's left this red for Selby into the centre pocket. Selby's unorthodox break-off in the previous frame didn't prove costly, but that one from Mark Allen might be.
Yeah, he's sort of sitting a little bit back in that chair now. A little deflated, I think. He's not lost yet, but this is really the first frame Selby's been in early in, so...
8.
Despite the fact that Keeble's kind of clung to the bunch. We're hoping to keep this going here.
Nine.
Amazing that this best of 7 frame match is the first that either player's won, but the winner will be on a minimum of 75,000, isn't it? Goodness, we mentioned it already, but it's a sizable amount. But you have got the very best players in the world here, so it's a tough score.
60.
Yeah, I mean, the thing with Mark Selby, he's always been someone that can steal frames. He's something he's well known for, but this match has been an example of that. A couple of them, Mark Allen probably should have put them away before the counter-attack ever came.
21.
Selby has certainly produced some fine snooker in patches this season. It's been putting it together for an entire tournament that's eluded him so far. Runner-up at the British Open at the start of the campaign. Semi-finalist at the recent Players' Championship after undoubtedly his performance of the season in whitewashing Ronnie O'Sullivan 6-0. He played superbly. Couldn't quite replicate that form against Zhang in the last 4, losing a decider. So
30.
Still searching for that extra 2 or 3% that will carry him to another title, nearly a year after he won his 22nd ranking crown. And of course, this is the time of the season where you want to be peaking with the World Championship in mind. Couldn't have got much closer to winning a 5th last season, of course, outlasting Mark Allen in their semi-final epic before the big fight back in the final session against Luca Brissell, which was ultimately in vain. But his game absolutely tailor-made for Sheffield, so Selby will be one of those players for sure who's fancied in just over a month's time. I'd love to go there with a trophy already bagged.
Well, he's not done much damage there in the bunch. He looked at the pink.
35.
It appeared the pink was very tight, actually. I'd like to have played that, but so it looks as if it's not going to happen in one visit. Maybe a bit unlucky not to just nudge a red out and put it into a potable position.
Mark Selby, 35.
A handy lead, but Mark Allen will be relieved to be still in the match. Just a reminder, it's Luca Brissell against Ali Carter to follow this match in our second quarter-final. The respective winners to play in the semis tomorrow. And a fantastic later session in store as well, with Judd Trump taking on Sean Murphy. Trump, the best player of the season in terms of the ranking events. Of course, he's won 4 of them. Over 120,000 points clear of his nearest rival, Ronnie O'Sullivan, on the one-year list. Sean Murphy has actually had a disappointing season after a great start when he won the Championship League. He's lost in 6 first rounds this season, Murphy, in ranking tournaments. So he's looking for a spark before the World Championship. Chance for Selby to get back in here. And that's very well played. That's a really good pot from Selby. Tight to the top rail, not easy.
No, it really was a good shot. You're absolutely right. Just to drop it in and offering up another opportunity here.
And then, of course, after Trump and Murphy, it's the small matter of O'Sullivan and Higgins. What a way to complete the quarter-final menu today. Semis and the final coming tomorrow.
Well, he took a little bit of a gamble there. And he's on that red well.
6.
Can't imagine he played on that red. Sure he played into the bunch there.
Seven.
Couldn't have hit those any better, Selby. Might have been concerned just for a moment about the red heading towards the right corner, but no danger in the end.
Absolutely terrific, wasn't it? Of course, the only way it could have gone better is if that red didn't go over the pocket and the black was available to the opposite. But as you say, it could have gone into the pocket. Still got pink. It's not really a problem. You would think. It's nothing's conclusive yet, but that brown into the bunch, which wasn't his first time in the frame trying to nudge reds out, is a very decisive blow.
1 second, please.
Mark Allen, we just got a glimpse of him there in his chair, warming his hands with his cup of hot water, fearing the worst, I think. It's been a frustrating afternoon for him because he had chances in the first 4 frames. I feel he should have won certainly 3 of them, including the all-important 4th when he was looking good for 2 each. Missed that black, and Selby came up with a fine clearance to deny him. And now things very much out of his hands. Selby getting close to booking his place in the last 4.
Yeah, playing this red, you just got to make sure he gets the cue ball out onto the black. Sometimes you can sort of almost trap the cue ball on these shots, so it doesn't go very far. Red wasn't over the pocket though, which helped. So it's not dissimilar to the black that Ali Carter missed yesterday when in command against Ding Junhui. End up winning, but a lot later on in the piece. It's this sort of shot he missed. Exactly the same thing has happened.
Marcel.
Exactly that
19.
shot is the one Carter missed. In that way.
Amazing, really. Selby hangs his head. And it presents Mark Allen with a chance of turning the tables on Selby and stealing a frame he looked likely to lose, and with it the match. There is hint of a rueful grin from Selby. That was virtually match ball, wasn't it?
Well, he's completely controlling that frame, and he isn't now. So Mark Allen probably owes him 3 frames that he could steal, and of course now he has to do it anyway, or else the match is over.
No.
So he's probably got to go into the 3 reds and the pink here, especially while there is 1 red sticking out. I'm just trying to work out from his expression if he's on that red or if the pink's in the way. Well, he's a bit unfortunate not to be on it. Well, that one fell in off the jaw. That was a shot he was staying down on, unsure as to whether it would drop. Selby cannot stop thinking about the black he missed.
$20. $21.
Well, it's a frame of changing emotions. Mark Allen was sitting back in his chair thinking maybe he was on the way out. Now, the other Mark, Selby, is looking pretty deflated, quite honestly. Because when he broke the reds open off the brown, hard to think that he wouldn't win the match there.
28. $29.
Very nicely played. Didn't look much, but finishing there on the blues makes everything so much easier positionally.
$34.
It's been a match full of shifts in momentum. Mark Selby, for all the world, was looking like a 4-1 winner just now. Missed the black. You saw his reaction.
35.
Mark Allen's turn to inflict a bit of pain in clearing up to keep the match alive when it looked as though he was heading home.
$38.
And if he does do that, you could say that
40.
4 of the 5 frames played have been won by the player who was very much second favourite to do so.
$43. $47.
He's got to be a little careful here, because obviously not to snooker himself behind the black, but he doesn't want too much angle on the pink either. That he can't hold for the black.
52.
Well, surely not. And that was the point. You know, it looked very simple. Oh, he can get through, I think. I think he can get through there. The trace, a little minute trace of left-hand side. I think that's on.
He was very concerned for a moment, wasn't he?
Well, he certainly got Mark Selby excited there. I don't feel there was ever any doubt he could just sneak through.
This then for 3-2. Mark Allen's turn to steal a frame and in the process keep his hopes alive. Mark Selby, for all the world, was looking as though he was going through there by 4 frames to 1. He missed a relatively routine black, and it's come back to bite. Selby still in front, but only by 3 frames to 2. He still needs 1 here at the Riyadh Season World Masters of Snooker for a place in the last 4. Dramatic stuff in our opening quarter-final here at the Riyadh Season World Masters of Snooker. That was the black that cost Mark Selby when he was very close to clinching victory just now against Mark Allen, and a 4-1 success. He's got to do it all over again now. Allen clearing up impressively, having 3 times this afternoon had frames pinched from his own pocket by Selby. It's been that kind of afternoon. Frames 1 against the head. Selby still needs 1. Mark Allen now needs 2 after that 56 clearance to stay alive. The winner to play the Luca Brissell, the world champion, or Ali Carter, who beat Ding Junhui yesterday. They're coming up at the conclusion of this match. Later on, Sean Murphy takes on the player of the season, Judd Trump, followed by Ronnie O'Sullivan against John Higgins.
An attempt at a double there, not very close. Must say, I've had a few people sending me a message on social media just about the possibility of a red off the table and then a free ball and a 147. But of course, no golden ball. Would they bring it back on? I think the answer is no. It's a bit like if a free ball with 14 reds left was taken and it was a 147. It would be a 147, but not a maximum, and I think it's got to be after a maximum. So, yeah, the answer is it won't be put back on the table under those circumstances. It's got to be with 15 reds and 15 blacks at the start of a frame. Of course, the rule is new to all of us. That is something different, isn't it? A number of talking points. Some excitement last night with John Higgins getting to the colours, to the yellow, with a chance to put 7 more balls to make one. I'm sure someone else will get close or even do it over the course of the next day and a half. Well, the match started very tactically. There was a re-rack almost as soon as we did get underway. First frame or 2 quite safety orientated, then it got opened up a little bit. But now things are getting more tense. And maybe we're going back to a more tactical snooker match, because these two are very good at playing in that way. But also the tension doesn't allow such a free-flowing match very often. certainly a good cue ball. Was underneath that black cushion there. Which means Mark Selby's going to have to really dig down to get the cue ball back in that kind of area. Well, that was certainly Mark Selby winning that battle. Cue ball not getting back to bowl. What a chance for Selby again.
One.
Now, can he put aside the disappointments of not winning the match in the previous frame when he looked sure to do so? Missing a black from its spot. Very similar to the one Ali Carter missed. Missed it in the same way. Carter eventually still won the match against Ding Junhui yesterday.
Eight.
But that was when Carter led 3-1, but it ended up a very nervy affair on the colours in the deciding frame until he got the job done.
9.
It's been a match of frames where the person making the running has not won them. Just apart from one of the frames Alan won. Selby wants to ensure no more repeat of that. What a chance this is. Don't know if the pink will go on its own spot. If it goes up on to the blue, that would be even better.
15.
Not the case.
Sixth. $23.
Selby has lost 4 final
20.
frame deciders this season, including, of course, to Mark Allen at the Masters, so he'll be very keen to get this match won here and now without need of a 7th and final frame. What a chance it is. It's hard to imagine he'd get a better one.
$29. $30.
Still a great chance, isn't it? Even though he's got just a bit of work to do now. All those reds up the table. The ones on the right are scattered a little bit awkwardly. I mean, they're in play, but they're slightly in the way of each other. Playing that nicely.
35.
All the time, chipping away, building a lead.
$36.
It's not a great shot. I mean, he probably still fancy potting it.
41.
Not dissimilar to the black. He didn't really want to be there, and just a little bit of nerves creeping in. I expect him to get this, but it could be missed.
$42.
Cue ball a little bit close to the left cushion. He's just edging out of position ever so slightly.
This black is certainly tougher than the one he missed to the opposite corner in the previous frame. And he's missed it again. Would you believe it?
Mark Selby, 42.
Well, this will infuriate Selby. He's always been a great finisher in the past. He's been clinical. You have to be when you've won as much as he has, including 4 World Championships, but not today. Another gilt-edged chance to close the match out has slipped through Selby's fingers. Is it going to come back to haunt him?
Well, it'll hurt if it does, because Mark Allen has got a lot to do here. Yes, he's at the table. He's 42 behind when he came to it, but it's quite a hard chance. And certainly a way back into the frame, at least. Just felt he was getting further out of position. Never too badly, but that blackie should never have been near the cushion on it, Selby. I think the effects of the last frame are still there. The run that he should have won to clinch the match 4-1.
Sorry, I'll get it for you.
Then you rest at one end of the table. On this table here. Quite a nervy affair. I think we're going to see a number of those today, with the amount of money up for grabs for winning.
Thank you.
Very well played, although the brown going safe clearly is against him.
$13.
Bit straight on this, which means he's slightly limited in what he can do with it. You can see just the slightest angle. I mean, if you could nudge that red out, all well and good. That one to the right of shot. sure what he played there. Presumably to move that red into play, but it wasn't that easy to take into an open position, the one that he did play into. Played the cannon here, played the cannon. Superb shot.
90.
Exactly as played. And this is a delightful shot to bring the safe red into play this time. Well, Selby will now start to have some concerns as to the way this match is turned
24.
around. The red by the pink is still going to be something to worry about. But the
25.
brown going safe. If any more of these balls are potted, then Selby's going to need the brown himself. They made the effort to refuse an
26.
easier green in playing this one. Yellow, now he's not on the red very nicely. To middle.
Oh. 28.
I wonder if he'd consider playing to pot the black and nudge the red and the pink into play here. I think the red looks safe. Certainly into most pockets. Does he play the cannon on the red and the pink? Oh, he does. Looks a superb shot to me. Can he get through to it? I'm
35.
sure there's a chance he can. That was very good. Two of the cannons he's made in this break have been of the highest quality.
36. Forty-one.
And of course the problem of potting the brown is still there.
$42.
And of course it's not a question of just potting the brown, because he'll still need to play from brown to blue, so it's not cut and dried. But Mark Allen
47.
clears up here.
$49.
Electing to play the cannon. It's not
52.
gone as well as it might have done, though.
Absolutely right. I mean, this is by no means an easy shot. It's a horrible shot to cut that back in and come around the table. You just get the feeling if this doesn't go in, it stays over the pocket.
Certainly been a match high on drama. Almost all of the frames have had twists and turns in them. Only one cleanly, emphatically by Mark Allen. So just the
Mark Allen,
safety, a reprieve for Mark Selby. He can still win this match without the need of a nerve-shredding decider. I certainly feel he should have won it already, though, with the chances he's had. Can he now block that out and get the job done? That's not gone to plan by any stretch. Selby's suffering now. He's thinking, I'm sure, about the two blacks that he's missed when he was looking good for victory.
Yeah, but by the same token, Selby's shot was not good, yes. Mark Allen knows that if this is not simple, and it could be his last shot if he leaves it on. Not the kiss he was looking for.
4.
Now does he play this? Again, it could be his last shot.
One thing Mark Allen has never lacked is bottle. Always prepared to take the tough shot on, even if there's risk attached. And this is for 3 each and a decider. Couldn't have got any closer, and happily for Allen, it's run safe.
Well, it's another dramatic match, isn't it? The way that it's shaping up, like the ones yesterday that we saw. This was very close. Hitting it that pace was the reason it stayed out. Selby might be able to play a meaningful safety shot here. Obviously priority blue safe. Cube, although twice across in behind the black, will be his way of going here. No. Didn't get that, but priority, as I said, always object ball, very safe. And behind the pink will do very nicely.
Foul. Miss. Mark Selby, 5.
What do you do here? Have the balls replaced?
Yeah.
Yeah, he thought about just playing the blue along the cushion. It's a natural to finish on the pink. I wonder what Mark Allen would have preferred. You'd expect him to do a little bit better out of the snooker this time.
Foul. Miss. Mark Selby, 5.
Well, he did do better, but he still hasn't hit it. And the more you see of this shot from the angle we are looking at now, he's actually quite close to the jaws of the right middle pocket. In front of the angle, he's sliding off the jaw, sliding off the cushion. See how close he goes to the middle pocket here. Very close. This time a better shot. Well, pretty good shot. I think he didn't mind getting the blue out there because he realised the blue is not enough for Mark Allen. Now he's giving those penalties away. He'll need the pink also. Mark Selby has got no choice but to take this on. Basically match ball, I think. Not the first chance he's had to win the match, but a very decisive one this.
Long way off. Plenty of pressure out there. This is a big, big money event, remember. Guaranteed £25,000 riding on this match alone. The winner to get at least 75,000.
Well, there's a lot of tension. I know that much. This is an event which has only come about in the last couple of months. But seems to be a lot riding on this first edition of the Riyadh Season World Masters of Snooker. He's bringing some very close matches to us. Pretty enthralling ones as well. You get the feeling whoever pots the blue should win the frame. He's looking to play this blue onto the black just to stop the blue from coming anywhere out towards the pocket. But he hasn't succeeded in doing that.
Another chance then for Mark Allen to take this match the distance. Was up quickly. That's normally a bad sign. Overcutting the blue. It is very nervy now. Understandably, there's a lot at stake.
Once again, just making sure the blue goes safe. Of course, Mark Allen missing that blue to right corner a few shots back. He got lucky He got lucky not to leave it. He was lost all control of the situation, missing the pot. Blue went to safety. Can he get through to the potting angle this time? Not sure to be on the pink as it happens on this occasion, but you might still take the pot on the blue.
He'd need the 3 colours, Selby, to be sure of clinching frame and match. If he pots blue and pink, Allen could still tie with the black, but you've got to think if he can pot the blue, he'll be in pole position to finally get this match done and dusted. A match he'll know he should have won already. It would be a hurtful loss for sure if he doesn't win. Can he knock this blue in? Just the safety.
Yeah, I mean, I get the feeling he couldn't pot it because he looked at it a lot of times.
Is it safe? It certainly isn't. Yet another opportunity for Mark Allen to take us all the way. No mistake this time. And there was an air of inevitability with Mark Selby missing the gilt-edged chances that he had with those 2 missed blacks into the opposite corner pockets, that we would go the distance, and that's where we're headed. What a dramatic match this has been. What a way to start quarter-finals day here at the Riyadh Season World Masters of Snooker. And it's down to a 1-frame shootout. All to play for. Mark Allen 3, Mark Selby 3.
Thank
On
you.
the final
Frame.
Blue and
Mark Allen.
slotting in the pink to take us to this final decisive frame. The prize for the winner, of course, a guaranteed £75,000. Not bad for one best-of-7 frame victory. And a meeting with either Luca Brissell, the world champion, or Ali Carter, who's already got a victory under his belt, of course, in the prelim round yesterday against Ding Junhui. They come hot on the heels of this match, the respective winners to play in the semis tomorrow. And that's another big mistake from Selby, who, well, his game is unravelling a bit here. He's got lucky insofar as he's not left anything. But he looks like a player who's dwelling on those missed chances, and he wouldn't be human if he wasn't, because they were great ones, Neil, to get the match won much earlier.
Indeed, yeah, the pressure is ramping up a few notches here. I think there's an argument both players are going to be disappointed to have lost, not just because they're knocked out of this event, but so many frames could have been won that have been snatched away from either of these 2 players. Now, this is a real test of his cueing. He looked under a lot of pressure in his last few shots. Oh, what a shot that is, though. All credit, because he hasn't played a good shot for a while, but he's played a brilliant one there.
One thing Selby always brings to the snooker table, whether he's playing well or struggling, is resilience, determination, and never say die attitude until the last ball has gone down and all hopes have been extinguished. And that was typically stubborn from Selby, wasn't it? Quite brilliant red after a series of mistakes. Now, can he capitalise?
Six.
Seven.
You may have just spotted there, of course, the golden ball was very swiftly removed from the table by Jan Vaas. Because, of course, blue was taken. I think
12.
probably right now, as much as it's a great target, and we've been speaking about it all week, I don't suppose either player had that 167 at the forefront of their minds in this frame, because it's very, very tense out there. It's all about the win. Chance to do it maybe in the next round.
Mark Selby,
Yeah,
12.
he didn't look comfortable on the shot. It was very thin. It was using the extension on the cue. You can sometimes push those thick. Cue's a little heavier than usual with the extra piece of wood on it. And that's what happened. Very nervy out there.
One.
Played it with a little too much topspin and the cue ball just trapped into that corner.
Mark Allen, 1.
Played a good shot there because not only getting the cue ball in behind the brown, but also bringing the black out, which, given the fact that he has played such a good shot, it's surely got to be in Mark Allen's favour. Well, playing it with a bit of right-hand side here. It's always hard to judge the pace using side on these shots. Tell you, that's worked out well, but it was a little dangerous. Pushing that red towards the left corner. Can he even get to it? To pot it? I think he can pot it. So it was a dangerous shot Selby played.
1.
Not on either pink or black, though. Has given Selby a little bit of respite there.
Brown ball. Mark Allen, 1. Thank you.
Oh, that's a serious mistake. And he's got very, very lucky this time. I reckon he played the safety shot side cushion first, bottom cushion back down the table, but he nearly went in off. It's not a shot you see misjudged that often. So I think on the balance of play, Mark Allen might have had the better of the run in this match, but the last few shots, Selby's been lucky. Got a feeling a lot of snooker is still to be played in this frame. I don't know if the red to the left of the pink will pot. Yes, it will. We've just seen that. This is a shot to nothing red he's faced with here. Certainly get the feeling that these matches could all be like this. Nervy and tense. Plenty up for grabs.
And Luca Brissell and Ali Carter to follow, remember, at the conclusion of this match. The winners to play in the semi-finals tomorrow. Later, Judd Trump against Sean Murphy, Ronnie O'Sullivan against John Higgins.
Played it well. Cue ball hitting the brown as a stopper was handy, but he has left this red on.
One. 3. Four.
Well, this is now a really good chance. I mean, Selby's escape I thought was quite a good one off 2 cushions. But he did leave this red on. It's a good chance. It really is. The reds are scattered quite nicely. They're not necessarily in each other's way.
He looked rather uncomfortable in his chair there, Selby, didn't he? He knows that he's had golden opportunities to win this match already, and is now wondering if he'll get a further one.
Well, he didn't want to play on the black while that red was on the black spot, but of course that's now going to be potted, so he can freely play on the black at the first opportunity. And it will certainly clean up the table a bit, make it more player friendly for clearing. Well, the reason he's not on the blue is because, as you saw, he nearly missed that red on the top jaw. Not a clean pot. It's finished right in between. Black to middle, cue ball just running into reds. Wow. What about that for a miss?
10.
The shot before was the problem, but I always felt he would pot that. But as you saw, from an early stage, it was always overcut. Selby probably can't believe his luck to be back at the table so soon.
That's been the narrative of this match, really. A tale of missed opportunities from both players who've had frames in their control and have allowed it to slip. Mark Allen's turn again.
1.
3 of the first 4 frames of this match he could, perhaps should have won and lost. And it was Mark Selby's turn in frames 5 and 6. And now a chance he might well have not expected to get, to finally, belatedly come out on top in this one. Get himself into the last 4.
Yeah, I mean, I think the way this match has gone and the way that he hasn't put his chances away, you're just not going to rule out it happening again. But maybe
8.
he would get a boost from the ball that was missed from his opponent there. That could see him get this match won at this visit. I think sometimes you can be under pressure, but you almost get a confidence booster from seeing someone like Mark Allen miss that easy chance.
Could have played that a bit better as well. Slightly trickier pink than he would have liked, with the pressure now at its most extreme.
Yeah, and that's led to going a little too far on this shot. He's going to have to stretch, and he's missed something like this earlier
15.
in the frame. It was not the same shot, but it was stretching across in the same way without ever looking very comfortable on the shot.
So I'll be keeping the break going, but a lot of work still to be done.
Indeed. Everything looks hard graphed. Even this shot, he's not on the colour for the red very well. And even these top players in the world, with everything that's up for grabs here, are really showing the pressure. He's looked at the black, he doesn't fancy it. The angle he's got on the pink takes him away from the reds. And this, when he came to the table, was a good chance. He's making hard work of this. He's taking the big shot on this black. Well, I suppose he thought, had he missed it, he might have blocked the pocket, but he didn't miss it.
23.
Certainly trickier than a couple of blacks that he has missed already in this match, when victory was
24.
within his grasp, but that was very well cued. And now it's Mark Allen's turn to wonder if he's had his last chance in this match. Both players certainly will have cause for some regret, whoever comes out on the losing side. Allen had a clear opportunity
30.
earlier in this frame. But the way things have gone, a further twist is by no means unlikely.
Yeah, he had to play the cannon because he needed to get something from the two reds which were tight together and not available. Well, if he didn't win the match at this point, he would be bitterly disappointed because
38.
it's right there in front of him now. And you can just forget about those earlier mistakes. Strangely, the black that he played into the right corner,
39.
which just went in earlier in the frame, in this visit, was a lot more difficult than the two that he missed in frames that went before. .45 points the difference. Snooker required for Mark Allen if the chance comes
45.
to get it. If this goes in, you'd think it will be match over.
Well, the red stays out, so
Selby.
the job
45.
not quite done. Yes, Mark Allen leads the snooker, but it's just the one. We saw Ding Junhui at one stage needing 3 snookers in the decider against Ali Carter, and in the end it was an in-off when he had a chance to clear up to win that scuppered his hopes, so you just never know.
It's hard to get a one snooker against anybody, but you always feel that Mark Selby invariably finds an escape route out of the snookers you put him in. So it has to be a mighty good one if that chance ever arises. How about this? What an outrageous turn of events that is. I mean, Mark Selby usually shows no emotion, but he could barely stand up to walk to the table when he saw that hit the jaw of the pocket like that. That's an outrageous piece of fortune.
But kind of in keeping with the unpredictable nature of this match. Players who've seemed certain to win frames ending up losing them. It's happened time and time again. And Selby, incredibly, has gone round the back of the red. And, well, it's all happening here.
He's left a free ball. This is unbelievable what's happened here.
Well, the disappointment in Selby is palpable. This is extraordinary. I mean, how he's not hit to red here to go round the back.
Yeah, well, words fail me because, I mean, the snooker was incredibly fortunate. He's gone with the chance to hit the red on. He tried to hit both reds there and missed them both. And of course he had to play the brown, Mark Allen, because he needed it back in the frame. This is an extraordinary end to this match.
39 the difference. Enough points there now for Allen to win the match. And he's missed the green, and the drama continues.
Yeah, he hasn't quite lost the match, though, because this red is not easy. Yeah, the pressure is getting to both of these players. And some. Wow. I mean, I didn't expect him to miss this, but I still can't quite get over the snooker that Selby missed through that ridiculously small gap. What's this in?
Match ball to leave Allen needing a couple of snookers. Undercut, so on we go.
Yeah, and the frame is very much alive. I know the green's gone safe. But that is not the end of the frame on the match just yet. Selby's got to do it all again and pop match ball again. Another very good shot. I mean, it looks like there might be the tiniest sliver of that red available, but it really isn't much. Yeah, Vas having a look. Everyone is having a look rightly because it might need replacing.
No, you had a look, yeah? I'll tell you. Yeah, tell me. Got it? Yeah.
Yeah, all these three of them looking down the line, as I say, because the ball might need replacing, and it would be a very precise replacement required if he does miss this. It gets put back. How much of this red sticks out? Not a lot. Very good shot. Very good shot. That is an error. Selby with a chance again. See, his sort of shot with maybe a little bit of right-hand side and stun or screw, just to sort of swing it in around the angles. It's a shot he's very good at, but the pressure's very much on him.
A pot that would put him 40 in front with 35 left. Mark Allen would need 2 snookers if this goes in. And he's missed it by a couple of postcodes.
Goodness me, I don't think I've ever seen him miss that shot by that margin. It's one of his Not so much trademark shots, but he's very good at those. Absolute country mile away, wasn't it?
Just shows what pressure can do even to these great players. We're talking about the creme de la creme here in Riyadh. Chance for Allen.
Oh my word, he could still win this match, Mark Allen, despite everything. Mark Selby, I'm sure we can't imagine how he's in this position now. Well, it's been an incredible match, actually, because almost every frame
7.
should have been won by the person who lost it, except I think one where Allen made a break.
Yeah, the 73 break, the only frame Allen won of the first 4. He could have won the first 4 and won the match.
8.
Then found himself 3-1 behind, somehow clawed his way back to a decider after Mark Selby missed blacks off their spots in successive frames.
Well, it's absolutely vital he gets top side of this yellow to green. I don't think he's got there.
13.
I don't think he's got there, so it's virtually impossible to get position on the green. So it looks like he'll have to roll this in and play safe. I think either player almost needs match ball to be over the pocket right now. There you have it, didn't play on the green.
Sorry.
Jan Verhaas has cracked.
Oh, yeah.
It's getting to everyone.
I must admit, I thought maybe I'd got it wrong then for a second, but not very often you see Jan Verhaas making a mistake, but the pressure has got to everybody. That's
Mark Allen, 15.
Can take this by 1 point, this match, Mark Allen.
Regardless of the length of the match, regardless of the location, this game of snooker never fails to deliver high drama, and this match has been chock full of it, and we still don't know who's going to progress to the semi-finals here. What a thriller it's been. Crazy match, really. Has it got the legs to get there? I don't think so.
Foul.
No,
Miss.
I thought the same. He actually got a little
Mark
closer than I first thought, but he still missed it by 3 inches or so. I don't think the points mean anything for that first one, because it'll still be, if the chance came, he only wants 1 ball on the green. And you'd like to think in the end he will make contact before too long. Too many points are lost. This time it slid off the cushion. And he's made contact. Yes, it's not that difficult to snooker to hit, but it is keeping the pressure on.
Foul. And a miss. Mark Allen. Yeah.
Well, that means that Selby needs more than 1 ball from here.
Yeah.
So 16 points between them in Mark Selby's favour, which means he needs the green and the brown to finally get this match won. But it's still on a knife edge.
When you think there was, at one point, a couple of snookers required, wasn't it, for Mark Allen? Now he's well within the realms of winning it. As you say, not even one ball required. It's more than one for Selby. It's going to be a tough match for either to lose, but I think should Mark Selby lose it, that's really going to hurt him. That's a good shot. Containment. That's all he was thinking about there.
Their 18th meeting, they've played on the biggest stages, of course, including last season's Crucible semi-final epic, but few of their encounters have been as dramatic as this one in terms of the twists and turns on offer.
It's an absolutely brilliant shot. I have to say that some of Mark Allen's safety in this match has been of the highest quality, and in some ways, you know, he's outplayed Mark Selby in the tactical department. Still, Selby should have probably already won the match, but those are two very separate things. Look at that last shot. Superb. So we're looking to just play off the bottom cushion, and he's completely misjudged this. He looks under all kinds of pressure. All of his trademark pots and safety shots have all gone out the window right now. "35 minutes, but it's been an enthralling deciding frame."
And this is a key moment. One good pot from Allen, and he'll be favourite. Overcut the green.
Must admit, when he first played that, I assumed he was playing it into the corner pocket, but he overcut it. Similar to the black he missed. Played at different speed into the opposite corner, middle pocket. This is not an easy pot. Nothing's easy right now.
Those pockets are getting smaller and smaller, aren't they, for both players? Looks like he might have second prize, though. Nice confirmation. Allen snookered on the green.
Yeah, because if he gets closer to the green, Selby, and you know, without potting it, probably stays over the hole. Quite a big swerve, this. Played it really well.
There's 3 more matches after this, folks. This quarter-final day could be quite an epic. But as a showcase for everything that this sport can offer in the way of drama, you couldn't wish for a better match.
Unlucky, good effort, but Cube just creeping past the line of the black ball. Yeah, I mean, I thought he'd get that safe, but again, he's put distance between the balls. Something he's done so well, keeping the pressure on Mark Selby at all times. Yeah, that's a snooker behind the blue, and it's given Mark Allen a bit of a headache here. Problem he's got is, yes, he's going to hit this. I think there's no doubt that the snooker's easy to hit, but he doesn't really know where the green is going to go. If it's flying across the table, it could hit the pink, it could hit the black. It could go into a pocket, of course, but he doesn't really know where it's going to finish. Oh, goodness. I only said it could go into a pocket. What a fluke that is.
Well, the pink is now on the side cushion. Mark Selby barely raising a rueful smile, but it's all happening. That's the one consolation for Selby, that pink being pushed into a safe spot.
I know, but it's hardly, it is a consolation.
A small one.
Yeah, you're right. It's something, it's a glimmer of hope. Wow.
7.
Does that make it a big pocket down there? Surely not. This is an incredible finish. I've not seen a snooker match quite like this for a long time, and I include yesterday's match between Ali Carter and Ding Junhui.
We often hear it said that
12.
the balls don't forgive you if you miss an opportunity to kill a match off, and Mark Selby, it must be said, had clear chances in frames 5 and 6 to do so. Is it going to come back to hurt him in a big way here?
Well, the double is on if he hits it at a certain speed. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Mark Allen, 12.
He's not left it. What has Selby got to do to win this match? This is just unbelievable. Wow.
Mark Allen smiling, no wonder. He's living a charmed life at the moment. Maybe he's destined to win this match. So down to the last 2 balls, Selby needing one of them.
Well, I mean, what do you do here? I mean, is there any way that that pink will pop past the black? If there isn't, then Mark Allen puts a lot of distance between these 2 balls. Cue will up the top left side. This is what pressure, playing for large amounts of money, do to anybody. Deciding to go more conventionally. Of course, there's always the Mark Selby shot to take the pink back down into that corner, because he's under the impression, I'm sure, that the right side of the table is completely blocked off. So this is extremely dramatic. He's got to be careful of, if it is too much of the pink, he could get a double kiss, which would be potentially end of match. And I think he can afford to hit left side of the pink. As long as it goes past the middle pocket, you'd like to think it would be all right. He got the double kiss. He got the double kiss, but got away with it. Wow. Just when you think you've seen everything at this game, this match has made me think again. Twice across safety shot. Cue ball back down the other end of the table. Played perfectly. And clearly it's a pink ball game. I mean, where the black is pretty obvious, isn't it, that whoever pots the pink's going to win the frame of match. It's quite a dangerous shot, that, wasn't it? Just the off chance, first of all, that he could have knocked the black in, but is this possible? I mean, it clearly doesn't go directly, but is it possible that it would go off the black? For Mark Allen, it's finished in the worst place. The fact that it's on the cushion is not in his interest, because from there, there's just an outside chance it could squeeze in.
Both players having a good old look at it. Allen concerned that that could happen. Selby, I think, not convinced. He only needs the pink, of course, Selby. Doesn't have to worry about the black.
Well, I think it will go, but that's if you know, if you hit it absolutely spot on. If he doesn't, and he double kisses the black, then he leaves it right over the pocket. Incredible drama here.
With 3 matches still to come on this second day of 3.
I think he has to play it. I think he has to play it, but you've got to play it fairly slowly. If he hits it hard, he'll never get it in off the black. Plays it slowly and misses it, he leaves it over the pocket.
Is this the moment that Mark Selby finally clinches victory? No. He's got the snooker. And of course, Mark Allen needs the black as well as the pink.
Goodness me, whatever next is going to happen here. It's looking good. Didn't think the cue ball nearly went in as well. So, this is just mind-blowing, isn't it?
Just when you think you've seen everything in this sport, something else pops up to surprise you. This has been an extraordinary match with an even more remarkable finale. We're down to the final ball, which is absolutely fitting for a match of this nature. But who is going to have the last word?
Well, okay, there's 2 things he can do here. One, he can just chip the black onto the cushion and put distance between them. But he could also play to double this into the right middle pocket. He's played it.
Amazing. A crazy match. One of the most remarkable afternoons of drama we've seen in this sport in recent times, and we've seen plenty, but that one might top it all. And Mark Allen, incredibly, has had the final say. He wins on the final black. It's a painful loss for Mark Selby, who had numerous chances to put it away. How he hasn't won it, I don't know. But it's Mark Allen through to the semi-finals.